Mel Kwaku Smith and the iconic Dr. Harry Douglas. So, two brilliant black men will weigh in on, and both of whom, by the way, are experts on sports sociology and psychology, will weigh in on our upcoming Olympics. I think it's what, 10 days away, 10, 11 days away. It starts the 26th of July. So that's happening today, and that should be definitely worth keeping it locked in for. Starting off the day with me, my partner in politics today was really we were kind of thinking we should clap back a little to the conversation he and Molly Bell were having. Well, Molly Bell was kind of roasting you, but she's got that OG status. She can roast me too. He is a writer for the LA Progressive. He is a filmmaker and also an activist and a contributor now to KBLA Talk 1580. James Farr, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. How are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored, and it's Monday. How are you?
You know what? But there hasn't been a Monday like this Monday for either one of us ever.
Well, yeah, I guess. You're saying that because of the so-called assassination attempt.
Well, I mean, you said so-called, but we can get into that. Yes, I mean, did you ever think that we'd be here today? We thought we were
Yeah.
talking about.
You know why, James? Because you're right. It probably, I mean, I certainly haven't had an assassination attempt on a president in my microphone lifetime, but it's the news cycle. I mean, the world is just so really, really crazy right now that I hate to say it. Maybe, yeah,
I mean, well, you certainly couldn't plan it, right? No one
no,
planned. Well,
no,
we didn't plan for
right,
this. I mean, I
right,
saw you Friday, and we were planning for something else, right?
right.
But here we are now seeing something. At least in our lifetimes, a second assassination attempt. One on a sitting president, one now on a former president, um, and just the conspiracy theories that are running rampant on social media. So I really want to hear what your take is on
Yeah.
all of
Well, I
this.
mean, and that's the thing. Like the social media and sort of blogosphere chatter is really loud.
Very.
It's really loud, and it's showing us how much that impacts the tone and tenor, the really national conversation. I mean, it's just it's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack here. It's really a fraught moment. I think it's, you know, the Republican National Convention is this week. We typically in the first hour of the show talk local, but this is local, national, international. So for those under a rock, there was what appears to be a lone shooter, a favorite for presidential assassination attempts, who climbed up. Apparently, I'm not the Secret Service. I'm going off what I've read and what I've seen. Who apparently climbed up a building adjacent to where Donald Trump was giving a speech, a rally, and fired off some rounds.
He did.
Apparently, and I say apparently because there were conflicting reports initially, but now it seems to have been established that a bullet grazed the president's ear,
Well, I mean, I
the
think
former president.
once we hear of all the investigation, the ballistics, and all of those things, right? We'll get more into, was this shrapnel rather, or bullet fragment,
Well,
or
they were saying that the bullet hit the teleprompter, and it was glass shards from the teleprompter that cut the president. But there was a picture taken by a New York Times photographer with a very high speed camera that appears to show the path of the bullet, and that seems to confirm that the former president was grazed by a bullet.
right, right. Well, he certainly dodged one, right? I mean, this.
You ain't right for that.
Well, I mean,
I mean, absolutely he did, and what I'm reading is that he is thanking the presentation he was doing on immigration because he turned towards the board right at the moment when the bullet whizzed by, and it really might have been the reason that this didn't, turn out to be much more dangerous.
It would have been an entirely different conversation this morning. And while the violence is not the answer, the shooter, right, the terrorist, right, I really think this is an act of white supremacy, right, to whatever we think
Why
about Trump,
why would it be an act of white supremacy?
because that's what white supremacy does.
They kill other white
They
supremacists?
they have done it since the day our their forefathers landed on the shores of this country. Like, violence has been a part of American politics since the inception of this country. And so, I know you'll probably want to get more into Biden's remarks last night, but this tone it down. Of course, we should tone it down, but the vitriol has always been there, right? And violence, we live in a violent culture. This is America's a violent society.
Well,
And
yeah. I mean, and who's the most violent one in our society at the moment?
well, it has always been white people.
Not just white people specifically, it's the MAGA movement.
Well,
I mean, and I'm not saying I want, I'm not saying I'm sorry you missed. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that for me, I have such a hard time with all of these politicians right now saying that this is so shocking that we don't have political violence in America. Didn't the Speaker of the House's husband get beat up with a hammer?
yes,
I mean, doesn't Auntie Maxine get threats of violence every single day? Some of them pretty vile, and they're coming from that side of the aisle. And I'm not saying that, we need to be pointing fingers. That's not the message. But to me, if you're going to start condemning political violence, let's not ignore the elephant in the room.
it's like I said, America has been violent since its inception. And the reason why I called the shooter, Thomas Matthew Crooks, a white supremacist, it's because that's the history of this country, right? And right now we're hearing his name sanitized. We're hearing excuses being offered up. He was bullied. He was this. He was that. And that's just not, what's afforded in our communities when community members choose violence, right?
Well, there's so much to unpack here, James, because it's like, of course, a lot of people are saying it's staged on both the left and the right. And, I doubt that. I don't know. But do you stage something where you could actually kill Trump? I mean, he could have really died.
He could have actually died. And again, for our community, let's pull back on that, right? I mean, this harkens back to Suge Knight placing himself in a vehicle with Tupac. We don't need that. I mean,
well, don't get me started on that. 'Cause you know what? I might come up missing. But I have my own thoughts about Tupac. But I just feel like my point was, right now we're speculating without evidence.
correct.
And that's always, that can go anywhere. That's endless. I think it's sad that it will be a factor in this election, that it will be something to crow about. But I knew Donald Trump, the former president, was not hurt as soon as he started all that posing, taking selfies with the Secret Service, pumping his fist in the air and trying to look like a tough guy. If you really were shot and you were hurt, he would not have been worrying about the optics. He would have been
He was on brand.
right.
Strength versus weakness.
So to me, that that immediately said, okay, he's fine because he's over here posing. He thinks this is an episode of The Apprentice because he's over here pumping his fist and saying fight, 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 or whatever he was saying. And a lot of people are pointing fingers. Speaking of pointing fingers, at the Secret Service. Why was that guy able to get up on a rooftop right above? Right. I mean, that is a good question, right?
It's a fair question, but I think what was happening is, and of course we don't know, and we'll find out more. But this Opie looking white boy is able to kind of just blend into a crowd and kind of exist, right?
Yeah, but
and within their own proximity, they felt safe and normal. Right.
Well, but that's not their job to feel safe. And honestly, I think it's kind of ironic because on the one hand, the people they accuse of being this deep state, whisk the former president to safety. But on the other hand, now Republicans are going to call them in front of Congress and grill them and yell at them because it's true. Why is that building open? Like, I'm not a security expert, but I know ain't nobody supposed to be on that building.
Well,
You don't have to be a super sharpshooter
I
to
think we'll find out
150 yards.
through investigations,
Yeah.
right, of what the security perimeter and what the details should have been. And I believe we're going to find out that someone locally made a decision not to secure the building.
Could
Right?
be some Uvalde type stuff.
Yeah, just kind of like, no big deal. This is backwoods in Pennsylvania. But as we did later learn, a sheriff did climb up on that roof, right? And for all the folks who say police keep us safe, constitutionally, they have no obligation to protect the public. And we saw a sheriff's deputy climb up on that roof, and when he was confronted with a weapon, he changed, fell, turned away.
Yeah, well,
Once again,
there's a lot of sort of fishy stories around that. But where I was going with it is, since when does the Secret Service part the waters to let you take selfies, pump your fist? And I mean, are they supposed to be covering him so he doesn't get killed? Like, aren't they supposed to be? They're acting as human shields. That's their job at that point.
right.
But his whole head and face are out while he's, doing photo ops.
Well, it was in the moment. Trump is a narcissist, right? I mean, that is classic of his behavior,
and
his character.
he's also media trained.
Exactly.
He knows how to carpe diem the hell out of a situation.
That was an opportunity. I mean, he wasn't dead.
No, I wasn't surprised by that. I was surprised the Secret Service, like, let's stop and take pictures after we're not 100% clear that it's safe to do so.
How many times have you seen police ignore their training?
Well, okay. You're talking about police. These are Secret Service.
They all the police.
Their job
They're
is
the police.
all right.
Okay. Law enforcement. How many times have you seen law enforcement ignore their training and justify a reason for why they didn't follow their training?
Well, I guess if you put it that way, 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580 if you want to weigh in. Former President Trump said he was thinking about delaying for a couple days, going to the Republican convention, but that would be letting the gunman win. So he is going to be there as scheduled. And I'm pretty sure that, this is... Somebody said to me yesterday that every Republican is voting now.
Oh, this I read online. I went down a couple of rabbit holes yesterday in the MAGA space, right? I've heard folks refer to him as that was an attempted crucifixion. He has now elevated himself into a messiah kind of space with folks. Folks are doubling down if they haven't already. This very well may have shored up the presidency.
Yeah, maybe.
Trump.
Maybe. I mean, a lot of people are saying that and also that Biden now will no longer be challenged. I don't know that that's true. We'll see. But I think that it's definitely going to fire up their base. I know that sounds crazy, but I also think for those of us who don't, and where I was going, James, we'll talk about this when we come forward, is that all these politicians, Democrats and Republicans, who are wringing their hands and saying there's no place for political violence, what they mean is there's no place for violence against politicians. Mm-hmm. Because we've got political violence in Yemen, in the Sudan, we've got political violence going on, in Gaza, in Ukraine. And the United States is exporting weaponry and participating in wars and political violence all over the globe. So for us to sit here and say, oh, well, that's never been part of our country. No, what you mean is violence against politicians.
That's what they don't want.
I mean, I don't think any of us want that, but I'm saying let's be clear, because you sound like a complete hypocrite who doesn't give about murdered children when you say we're not about political violence while children are starving to death and being bombed into oblivion in Gaza. You sound like a robot. Stop that. 800-920-1580 if you want to weigh in. 800-920-15. See, I'm a peacenik. I really could could do away with all this violence. But stop acting like we're so shocked and appalled by violence when we export it all over the globe.
And right here in our own communities, and
Oh,
they
Lord,
say
don't
nothing.
get me started. Wait, it's only, all right, 800-920-1580. We are unapologetically, progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
KBLA Talk 1580 is now celebrating 3 years of amplifying our voice and uplifting our community. We deeply appreciate your support of this radio station and will always do our level best to earn your support. Here's to many more years of loving and serving our community. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
I know it gonna happen without you.
What if the conversation about menopause and bladder leaks didn't have to be a secret? Always Discreet helps you embrace this new chapter with confidence, offering a bladder leak solution that keeps you worry-free. Its rapid dry core quickly locks away even the biggest gushes with up to 0 leaks, 0 wet feel, and 0 odor, so you can jump, dance, sneeze, and laugh uninterrupted. Everyday protection for every level of leak. We've got you, always. Try Always Discreet today.
So rich, so indulgent, wrapping my skin in softness. It's Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash. My new go-to for silky smooth skin in my shower. With Olay Indulgent Moisture, my skin said bye-bye dry, hello glow in just 14 days. Indulge with Olay Body Wash.
We must understand the politics of our community, and we must know what part politics play in our lives.
Questions about black voters, their disengagement, lack of information, and support or lack thereof for Democratic candidates have once again taken center stage as Democrats, Republicans, and independent candidates compete for this critical voting bloc. Will black voters abandon Democrats in this election, move historic numbers of votes toward the Republican nominee, or will they continue a decades-long trend of overperforming for Democratic candidates up and down the ballot? The stakes have never been higher for black America. Tune in to KBLA's new show, The Black Pack, hosted by veteran political strategist Adrian Shropshire, every Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. for a breakdown of the issues, rhetoric, polling, and more this election year. It's The Black Pack with Adrian Shropshire, Fridays from 4 to 6 p.m. exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580. Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. So we started off talking about, the Trump rally and the assassination attempt because, James, you texted me about it as soon as it happened. Okay, I am not a supporter of Donald J. Trump. I'm glad he's not dead. But what I'm pointing out is about the double standard. And because Republicans have already started blaming Biden, blaming the Secret Service. But when Paul Pelosi gets bludgeoned, it's funny to them. They make fun of it. They can talk a lot of smack. They can blame Democrats. And there's such a double standard because if we ever did that, it would be the end of the world. They're blaming Biden because he's saying attack, 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 and trying to do a false equivalency between what Trump did on January 6th, 2021, was it? 2021, yeah. And the rather milquetoast campaign rhetoric that Biden's doing now.
You said milk and toast. Yeah, I mean, yes, Trump and Republicans have poked fun at Nancy Pelosi's husband when that incident happened, when he was assaulted at his home. I mean, they
went beyond poking fun. They were blaming him for his own demise and smearing his name.
They absolutely were, right? But where we are now is, and where we've always been, is the fodder, the rhetoric, the things are going to be weaponized because power is on the line, and power has to have the power. So they're going to do any and everything that they can. And of course they're going to blame, Democrats for, saying Trump was a threat to democracy and that he brought this, Biden and the Dems have brought this on themselves. But again, my thing with Democrats, period, is you've hit the playbook of break glass, hit the emergency. We're in trouble. Let's just attack. No one could have predicted this. No one could see this coming. And you can't expect the Republicans to not turn around and try to use it against, because again, they're trying to, Trump is win at all costs. We saw that, 3 weeks ago during the debate? Lie. Doesn't matter. Stumble Biden. And now here we are in a space where now the talk of should Biden step down, he still should step down. Let me say that again. He still should step to the side, because I really don't believe now that he will beat Donald Trump.
Okay, Molly Bell's going to be calling any second.
I don't want no smoke from Molly Bell.
First, we're going to Curtis from L.A. Hi, Curtis. Curtis, you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the mic.
Okay, just two things I want to speak on. Did y'all see the man give the Hitler salute?
Yes.
He gave the Hitler salute. It was subliminal. He gave the Hitler salute twice.
I only saw it once, but yeah, right when they were trundling him off. He sure did. He did it twice?
He gave the Hitler salute. Ain't nobody exposing that. He straight out gave the Hitler salute.
He sure did.
Okay, and it need to be spoken of. And then, when it happens to them, we need to dial it down. We need peace. We already know what we're dealing with as black folks in this country. And please expose them. That's all I call to say. He gave the Hitler salute.
That was a really good point, and I don't know how we missed it.
No, he did it. He did it twice. Once when he first got up, and then right before they put him in the car.
Okay, I missed the one when he first got up.
Yeah, it's it subtle, overt, whichever way you want to look at it. I mean, yes, he was telegraphing. Yes, he was speaking to his base. Yes, he was saying, "I'm all right," but
he was posing for his Time magazine cover.
Oh,
that's exactly what he was doing.
I mean, the T-shirts are on sale right now.
And let's not underestimate that. I mean, that's, how many years was he on The Apprentice, where they carefully craft your image, and then he's been accused of calling into People magazine. Well, not accused, apparently recorded calling into People magazine, pretending to be his own publicist and touting his great accomplishments. He knows how to play the media.
But Curtis, you're right, brother. We already know what it is, and now when it's them, and when the perpetrator, as I said, the white supremacist terrorists, assaults our democracy, assaults our nation, he's bullied.
Well,
he's a loner. He's a lone wolf.
And this is a young white guy. This is Dylan Roof. This is Kyle Rittenhouse. It's usually coming from them. They try to say it was Antifa. They try to say, but the fact of the matter is, you're fostering that violence and that environment, and then you want to cry when it's rained down upon you that we all need to ramp down the rhetoric. And I think that's Curtis's point. Like, why were you not ramping down the rhetoric when it was, when it's Maxine Waters every single week getting threatened?
Because white supremacy and white domination has never toned down the rhetoric,
right?
As it relates to us, right?
Yeah, and I think Curtis is right. We have to be the ones to say that, because mainstream media is just going to pretend they didn't see him do the Heil Hitler thing. We'll continue our conversation when we come forward after news, traffic, and sports on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Mike Moore. Now here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The FBI is leading a probe into the assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump. They identified the dead gunman as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Agents swarmed the shooter's home overnight and found explosive materials. The FBI says he acted alone, although the motive for the shooting remains unclear. Former NFL receiver and kick returner Jacoby Jones is dead at the age of 40. The African-American former player reportedly passed away in his sleep yesterday at his home in suburban Houston, Texas, and no cause of death was given. He was drafted by the Houston Texans in 2007 and eventually was released in 2012. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Me and the kids were always messaging. They LOL'd, I ROFL'd, but then I changed phone and the bubbles went green. But where there's a fill, there's a way. And I found a way to share what's in here. I'm tapping my heart.
WhatsApp, the place to safely send messages between different devices. Message privately with everyone.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The All-Star break comes at a good time for the Dodgers. They need to regroup. The Dodgers are 2-8 in their last 10 games. They lost at Detroit Sunday in the bottom of the ninth. The Dodgers still have a 7-game lead in the NL West over San Diego and Arizona. The Angels are taking a 3-game winning streak into the break. They took 2 or 3 from Seattle, the first-place team in the AL West. Bronny James said he's open to playing for the Lakers G League team during the regular season if it gives him more playing time and the chance to improve. In 3 Summer League games with the Lakers rookie team, LeBron's son is shooting only 23% from the floor and is 0 for 12 on 3-pointers. The G League assignment is a real possibility for Bronny if new coach J.J. Redick feels he's not ready for significant playing time in the regular season. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
Securing your firearms protects lives. Pick up your free gun safety lock at select LA County libraries and hospitals. Learn more about other gun safety measures you can take to keep our families and communities safe. Visit lacountygunsafety.org or call 1-833-540-0473 for more resources on gun safety. Together, we can save lives.
Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste, so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent. So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle.
Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Free and Gentle. This back-to-school season, Tide and Downy are giving back with $1.5 million in scholarships. Enter to win. No purchase necessary. US/DC 17+. End September 30th. Rules. Tide.com/scholarship/official rules.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Okay, so I'm here with James Farr of the LA Progressive and the Conversation Live, which is his podcast. We have a lot of people on the phone, so we're just going to go right to it instead of our normal arguing. And I may have to kidnap you like I did to poor Baba Keeley last week and make you stay with me a little bit in the second hour of the show so we can get to these calls, because I'm sure some folks have feedback to you. We're going to Jeff from LA. Hi, Jeff.
Hey, how you doing, Dominique?
Good, good. Blessed and highly favored. What's on your mind?
Well, I'm going to take you in a different direction on all of this. I would say for the last 8 years, 4 years as the former president, and then the 4 years that he actually was president, he never admitted that he lost the election. So he stayed on the minds of everybody for the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the one thing that's being missed now is he's added something to his resume behind all of this, which is that now he gets to play the victim, which he's victimized America for the last 8 years. Now he gets to play the victim.
And he always plays the victim anyway, but now he has a discernible reason to do so, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so I kind of think whatever was going on with our beloved Democrats who were trying to kick out the guy who's the current president, I think this Victim Act is going to help him get, as a matter of fact, I think it's pushed him over the top, because we're going to be looking at this probably for the next 2 weeks nonstop. I've been looking at it, and I'm sick of it. I can't even turn the channel on without seeing something about him. I saw the Heil Hitler salute. I saw that how hard-headed he is, how he won't stay down and let the Secret Service take care of him.
My shoes.
Yeah, I got to get my shoes and I got to get my hat, and But the thing is, they're treating him like he's the current president. That's what I'm not quite understanding. He's a former president. He loves to go to rallies. They've been going to these rallies. He's been creating this violence. He's been creating this violence. So to have it to backfire on you one time, you know what? You should want to step back. But what did he say? Oh, no, I'm going to be at the Republican rally in 2 days. It's like, dude, most people would be trying to get themselves together and, trying to, let me just figure this. Oh, no, he's like, I got what I wanted. This is where I want to be. And and all he's going to do is just throw the harpoons at the current president. You can see it coming, and the Democratic Party and all the people that don't follow him and don't believe in what he feels. And I really think that Project 2025 has been getting a lot of views over the internet, but it's just not going to be enough. Whether we put Biden down or we follow him, the problem with the fact that we've been separated by Democrats and Republicans, and you have to pick a side, it's kind of pathetic that you just can't follow your conscience anymore, because America is controlled by TV and the internet and social media. And so if the right is basically saying this guy is the guy, what do you do with that? Common sense doesn't work anymore. We know that. But,
I think you can vote your conscience. You can vote the whole ticket and abstain from the top if you don't feel like it's right. I know you, James. I know you're voting West Abdullah, right?
I am pro other options, right? We don't know if they've qualified to be on the ballot here in California just yet. We'll know in probably about a week or so. But Jeff, we need other options, and this is a great example of why we need other options. And
I agree.
And to your point, Trump is going to ride this thing, not for 2 weeks. We're going to see this all the way up till Monday, the first Monday in November.
We're going to see this until he goes bye-bye, until he, kicks the bucket. This is probably going to be on his gravestone. I mean, look, he ducked out of the war with his bone spurs, but now he can act like he's been in battle.
I mean, the Teflon rhetoric, all these handles that he's picking up now, the Messiah, this failed crucifixion, that they said he's greater he's greater because he didn't need 3 days.
But Jeff and James, let me play people's advocate for a second. He could very well lose a lot of people like me who say, look at, not that he ever had me, but more reasonable people that say, look at what this MAGA-ism is descending us into. It's descending us into people being shot at rallies and, and what Trump is fine, but not everybody survived that, So I think some people may say, no, this is not my America, and maybe want to turn away from the extremism.
Well, let's do this, because what we haven't done is acknowledge those 2 people who lost their lives, right? I mean, it could be there's going to be a lot of fodder over the next few days, weeks, and even months, right? But the seriousness of it is people did lose their lives, right? And who's to blame? The shooter's to blame.
Of course.
And no one else, right? But we're in trouble. we're in more trouble today. So
you think the Dems are going to lose even more losey than you thought we were going to lose before? And it sounds like, Jeff, you agree.
Yeah, let me tell you factually. I would say if it was, we'll just come up with some in numbers. So if it was that he was up by, say, 43% and Biden was at, say, 30%, if this doesn't give him a boost, then nothing will, because it's nonstop on every single channel. It will not stop. The clips that are on the social media, which kind of terrorizes the kids, but those are the demographics you're looking at are the young voters. They're the ones that are going to say, you know what, I feel sorry for this guy. He's a victim. So, I think what he's saying, and the reality is they haven't figured out this is a cult. This is not a guy
it's
that
absolutely
cares
a
about
cult.
anything.
It's absolutely a cult.
It's absolutely a cult. And there was a reporter there, and this is what kills me. There was a reporter there, and he has his phone number, so he called him. So he was on the news, and I was watching. So, okay. So he talked to him for 3 minutes. He says, are you all right? Is everything okay? He says, yeah. He says, how you feeling? He says, well, I feel good. I'm going to the Republican convention in a couple of days. He says, well, did the current president call you? He says, oh, I don't care about that. That's not important. And I'm sitting here going, 2 things are wrong with this. The current president is calling you, but you think you're the current president. And here's a reporter who has your direct number, and these are the people that can call you. Those are the 2 things that were wrong with that. So,
yeah,
I mean,
at least 2, yeah.
It's pathetic.
Yeah.
It's pathetic, but that's how, like you said, he is the most manipulative person when it comes to the media I've ever seen. He knows how to take a moment and stretch it out.
Jeff.
Like you said, the TV, the T-shirts, all that stuff. He's going to do everything he can with that to vilify himself and to raise his level to a whole nother level.
Brother Jeff, every politician at this level has mastered media.
No, not like Trump. Not like Trump. No, he is a master manipulator.
No, there's no doubt about
it.
But the point I'm making is,
but he's super crafty.
Crafty, witty, manipulative.
Witty? That's a stretch.
But I got to push back on the cult comment that both of you made, because I know some folks who were so staunch in their democratic beliefs, right, that if you don't believe what they believe, they behave like a cult as well.
No way.
Absolutely.
Okay, don't give me that false equivalency crap, James.
It's
Look,
the truth.
It's not the truth. Here's the fundamental difference. They call him a messiah. Even James Clyburn is not going to call Biden nobody's doggone messiah. That's the difference. They put it into. They put it in. No, I don't think so, baby boy. They put it into. Don't make me go hood on you, James. They put it into a religious and spiritual context. No one's doing that in the Democratic Party, and no one thinks Joe Biden is their master. I'm sorry, that's just that's a right-wing talking point that's beneath you.
It's definitely beneath me, but it is still. But as someone who sits right in the middle, I see both
in the middle
sides
of
all of it.
You're not a centrist.
I'm not a Democrat, and I'm not a Republican, right? I'm right in the middle as an independent, and
you're off to the left as an independent.
Most of the time, I am. But
Except when you say stuff like Democrats are just as much a cult as Republicans, then you're lost. Because here's the difference. Not only is it the spiritual, religious component, it's the relationship with the truth. They say anything and everyone goes, oh, yes.
I'm not delusional.
Grand leader. We don't do that.
No.
If Biden lies, we grill him, and then we throw ourselves under the bus. Jeff, I'm going to give you the last word here.
Okay. So I'll say this. The one thing he's done that probably nobody has ever done is he's used these rallies like nobody else has ever done. He goes there. He doesn't say much of anything, but he enables the people to bond with him. And I think he's normalized himself in such a way that people will shield him and protect him. And I've never heard anybody say that. And I mean, if you're going to be at these rallies, getting these people to basically Heil Hitler and all the other stupid things that they do there. Did you notice in this particular rally that they say the Secret Service didn't cover right and they didn't do a good job? It's quite interesting that when the shooting started, and this is the difference between black people and white people, you're not going to see me just sit there. And you're right, 2 people did lose their lives, and I'm sorry for those 2 people. But those people just sat there. They just literally sat there and they interviewed some of them. I'm going to throw my body in front of them. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm not getting any of that. I'm sorry. I'm just not. I would have run. I would have tried to get away. But those people didn't move. They just stayed there. And that's what he's created with this stupid rally that's part of his mystique. That's what elevated him to a status like you will never see again. Ever.
Yeah. You're right. And to your point, James, Corey Comparatore, a 50-year-old fire chief, a volunteer fire chief, was one of the people who was killed at the Trump rally. And then David Dutch, an employee of a technology company, he was shot, and he is one of the ones that was in critical condition, as is James Copenhaver, who's 74-year-old, and I'm not really quite understanding that. He was a registered Democrat, but I guess he decided to come on out to that rally, and of course then the shooter himself. Thank you for your call, Jeff. He called us at 800-920-1580. You can do the same. We are elevating black and progressive voices around the clock. KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to gear with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
Oh, man. Looks like Bobby needs a ride to the airport again.
Grab the keys.
Who's taking Auntie and her friends to the swap meet?
Grab the keys.
How about we drop these boxes off at Miss Johnson?
Grab the keys.
Whether you're giving rides or hauling gear, you're all about getting things done. So do it all in a Chevy SUV. From the versatile Equinox and sporty Blazer to the roomy Traverse, our lineup of SUVs will carry you through every adventure. All you have to do is...
grab the keys.
That's how we do. Head to your local Chevy dealer, where well-qualified buyers get 1.9% financing on all 2024 Malibu, Colorado, Blazer, Equinox, Trailblazer, and Traverse Limited models. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
1.9% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $28.60 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 15.8%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 7/1/24.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
When you turn to the Employment Development Department, we'll help you get there. Whether it's support for you and your family while you find a new job, or the resources to focus on your recovery after illness or injury, we can help you move forward. From support while you bond with your newborn, to helping serve your family while your partner serves our country. Your EDD. We'll help you get there. For more information, visit edd.ca.gov.
If you're an adult in need of an accredited high school diploma, the Los Angeles Public Library can help. You could earn one for free in as few as 5 months, online with 24/7 access. You also get a personal academic coach, plus special training focused on 9 in-demand industries, as well as a resume and cover letter to advance your career. Visit the website at lapl.org/diploma. That's lapl.org/diploma.
So rich, so indulgent, wrapping my skin in softness. It's Olay Indulgent Moisture Body Wash. My new go-to for silky smooth skin in my shower. With Olay Indulgent Moisture, my skin said bye-bye dry, hello glow in just 14 days. Indulge with Olay Body Wash.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code PATH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code PATH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PATH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Heard any other talk radio lately that sounds anything like this? We didn't think so. You're listening to Unapologetically Progressive, KBLA Talk 1580.
All right, we're going to keep it pushing on these phones because things need to be said. Folks got things to say. I know you had some comments about the president's address, but we'll table that for now and go to Curtis from LA. Hi, Curtis, the actual president, not the former president. Good morning, Curtis. Oh, wait, we already talked to Curtis. Curtis, are you calling back?
No, but I will speak again.
Okay, if you would make it quick, because I'm sorry, I got some other folks holding, but I just had a brain fade there. Oh, she's too old to do a radio show. Let's get someone else in here.
My question is, where did Jewish people at?
Where's what? I'm sorry.
Where's the Jewish folks at, knowing that he gave the Hitler salute?
Oh, where are the Jewish folks at? Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I don't know. Like, you're saying, like, where is the Anti-Defamation League saying, why are you giving a Hitler salute? I feel like they're ignoring it or denying it. I don't know, because I haven't heard it mentioned at all in the mainstream.
Well, President Biden has asked us to tone it down, right? And so at this time, perhaps maybe they'll revisit it, when Dems realize that they're still desperate and they got to throw everything at it one final effort, right? But we'll see in the next month when the convention rolls around, the 17th of August, just how desperate they are.
Okay, well, it's interesting. I haven't seen one single thing about him doing that salute outside of social media.
Right. No, you haven't seen it in any mainstream media, and you probably won't. Like I said, for a while, right now, the rhetoric is being dialed back, right? Not many in media are saying that Biden still needs to step aside.
Yeah, but I'm sure they're still saying it in the Democratic Party.
We'll see. We'll certainly see.
It's okay. Thank you, Curtis. Sorry about that. Let's go to Paul calling us from LA. Hi, Paul. Your phone sounds like it's breaking up a little, Paul.
Sorry, is it still breaking up?
We can hear you.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if it's an echo. I'm sorry. I just wanted to address basically what the brother was saying earlier, and I actually agree with him. If you go throughout history, there are situations that have happened that have nothing to do with us, but has more to do with white people overall, with themselves making decisions to compromise. That's why last week we had the discussion. When I said this had nothing to do with Biden's age, it had to do with the woman that's black that's after him.
Yeah.
And basically, where I overall agree, and I know majority of black people are becoming more independent. I get that. However, we go in the booth, we understand the assignment, so let's not forget that too. What I essentially saw was a situation where this man is rallying up these crazies, throwing up Nazi signs and everything. Why? Because at the end of the day, they're already setting up they stole the election. And in reality, January 6th had nothing to do with black people. January 6th had to do with white people fighting white people. And until that elephant in the room is acknowledged, much in the way after the Civil War, how the Confederates that had slaves were even given quote unquote reparations because they didn't want to give up what they deemed their property. And in ways, the Nazis that even came down, right, that he's really talking to, and their descendants right now, basically were treated better than even black slaves that actually won the war.
Well, I mean, so tie me into how you think what this means, in terms of the moment that we're in right now, which seems to be a very dangerous crossroads of history.
This is how white people compromise. The whole thing with removing Joe Biden, and you've heard my opinion on this. I'm going to go straight to the facts. Project 2025 does not require Donald Trump to win the election. Project 2025 requires a Republican win. So let's not forget about that part right there.
Yeah.
Also, I just want people to understand, we always, democracy is not perfect, right? But I need everyone to understand that if it breaks, who do you think are the first people on the menu? The man is saying poisoning the blood. Who do you think he's referring to? The man saying concentration camps. Who do you think our babies going to be put in there? The man said, I will give full blanket immunity to police officers to kill the criminals. Who do you think he's talking about? Those are called dog whistles to who? A certain base of people. But overall, if we're going off the facts, the reason Biden has to stay on the ticket is because he will pull from those independent voters and they will win again. It's simple.
It's funny though, because it seems like the Republicans really want Biden on the ticket because they feel like they can beat him.
Right. They definitely want him on the ticket, right? But then when you look at who's a close second, they'll take that on as well, right? You raised some good points, Paul. Trump is not speaking to Dominique. He's not even speaking to me, right? He's not speaking to the people who we know who would never vote for him. What he is speaking to, and again, I want to speak disparagingly on the third victim in the shooting, but there are a lot of white registered Democrats that are sympathizers because whiteness is on the line right now. What they are trying to protect is whiteness.
Well, and I know that's the reason why you don't think that Kamala Harris can win. We have news, traffic, and sports right here. We're going to continue this conversation. We have news, traffic, and sports. We have Mindful Monday. We're going to get our heads together so we don't sink into the abyss or the MAGA mire, the cult. And then we'll continue. I think I'm holding James Farr.
I'm here.
Hostage, but in a nice way. That sounds
I'm
crazy.
not joining a cult.
On KBLA. No cults around here. Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Mike Moore. Now here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The FBI is leading a probe into the assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump. They identified the dead gunman as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Agents swarmed the shooter's home overnight and found explosive materials. The FBI says he acted alone, although the motive for the shooting remains unclear. Former NFL receiver and kick returner Jacoby Jones is dead at the age of 40. The African-American former player reportedly passed away in his sleep yesterday at his home in suburban Houston, Texas, and no cause of death was given. He was drafted by the Houston Texans in 2007 and eventually was released in 2012. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Me and the kids were always messaging. They LOL'd, I ROFL'd, but then I changed phone and the bubbles went green. But where there's a fill, there's a way. And I found a way to share what's in here. I'm tapping my heart.
WhatsApp, the place to safely send messages between different devices. Message privately with everyone.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Yes, Bronny James said he's open to playing for the Lakers G League team during the regular season if it gives him more playing time and the chance to improve. In 3 summer